friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with C Zook Stitch, and today is Saturday, December 21st, 2024. Welcome to my 2024 WIP Parade. I am so glad that you are here. I'm thinking this will take us, I'm guessing, hour and a half maybe. I have about 62 WIPs in my stash. I can think of one off the top of my head that I may UFO because I'm just not drawn to it. I have no problem UFOing things if I'm not enjoying stitching on them, or if I don't think I will enjoy kind of the final product. So I have one in mind that I may do that. But I love doing this each year because there are a lot of projects that you see on a regular basis in my weekly floss tubes. And there's some that we haven't seen because I haven't stitched on them in a couple of years. So if you want to, I suggest maybe keeping a pen and paper handy in case you like anything and want to get the chart yourself. Maybe you want to keep tallies of how many WIPs you see that I have so we can compare notes if my notes are actually accurate. And maybe you want to keep track of how many times I say, oh, I love this piece. I really need to work on it. I wish I had more hours in the day. All right, I store my WIPs alphabetically. That's just what works for me. Alphabetically by chart title. That's what works best for me for the most part. So that's how I'm going to show them to you today. And I'll have to take several breaks to go get the other pile of WIPs. I have the first pile. I have they're the Billy bookcases, I think, from IKEA. I'm looking over that. I'm in my craft room upstairs right now, so the lighting's a little bit different, and it's a mess around me. As you can see, I apologize. This is my Christmas present staging area, so that's what's going on in here. And yes, for those of you who've been with me for a while, I still have the paint samples on my wall. They'll come down eventually, one day. But yes, I store them on a Billy bookcase, and they are in alphabetical order, so let's go ahead and get started. And in fact, the very first one that I am pulling is the one I think I'm going to UFO. And I am going to pull them out of the bags because otherwise it would just be a huge mess to clean up afterwards. So this first one is a long dog. It is called 1 Down, 3 Across. This is what it will look like when it's done. It is very cute. I like all the words and everything like that. I'm just not drawn to it in the same way that I am my other Christmas pieces. I'm stitching this on a 28 count navy, and it's actually going fine, but I just don't work on it very much. Oh, I guess I do have quite a bit done. I have more done than I thought. I thought I just had this little bit up here done. So never mind. I think we are going to go ahead and finish this. We have more done than I thought, and it looks really good on with the white on the navy. Okay, scratch that. We're going to keep this one. Yay. So that is 1 Down, 3 Across by Long Dog. I definitely have not worked on it this year. I don't even know if I worked on it last year, to be honest with you. Someday. This next one, if you watch my regular floss tubes, I know that a lot of people watch WIP Parades who maybe aren't a regular viewer. If so, welcome. But if you do watch, you have seen this one recently because I worked on it last week. This is a Bothy Threads kit, and it is called 12 Days of Christmas, and it is in my 12 Days of Christmas Ever Tote bag. This is what it will look like. Sorry about the twinkling. I completed number 2 this month. Completed number 1 last month, last year, number 2 this year. I'm going to have to speed it up because I do not want to hold on to this for another 10 years if I'm only doing like one a year. This was a kit. I did change out the fabric. It is full coverage, so the fabric I'm using is just it's either 32 or 28 count. Maybe 28 count because it was 14 count Ada, I think, in the kit. I'm not sure, but I am using the kit floss. So that is how far we are, full coverage. I can't really tell on the camera, but there is some I don't know that it's actually acrylic, but there's some metallics that make it sparkle in real life. And then there's my needle minder, 12 Days of Christmas needle minder too. And it's funny that I'm working on this. I mentioned this in my regular floss too, but I actually don't love that song. Just because I find the repetition kind of a lot. But I do like the projects. I have several projects that are 12 Days of Christmas, and I tend to really like what the designers come up with for that. So that's just kind of funny. You would think it might be my favorite Christmas song, but it's not. I don't know what is. Silent Night is one of my favorites, and Last Christmas is like a modern favorite. Okay, next up, I also just showed this because I just worked on it this week, is Crochet the Go-Go. This is Advent Calendar. And as usual, the picture does not do this piece justice. So I finished these 4 and then the candles so that I'm not very far along. I am stitching this on a 32 count linen in the color Aged Paper by Color and Cotton. So let's take a look here. When you stitch this, you really want, there's a lot of white, so you want to make sure you pick a color that the whites really pop on. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to continue working on this one. I just decided that today, actually. I'm going on a trip here over the Christmas holidays, so I will be working on this on that trip. My fabric is way too big for this, so I do need to cut that down. But that's where we're at on Advent Calendar. It goes fast, once you actually work on it, you know what I mean? So I am loving that one. Okay, next up. Oh, they just all fall down, don't they? I gotta think of a better system for my next batch. That over there. Okay, so this next one is Alpine Garden, and I forgot my pictures downstairs. I will be right back. Okay, so my next one is called Alpine Garden, and it is my chatelaine. It will look like this one day. Again, this is just a mock-up, which does not do the project justice. And this was a birthday start 2 or 3 years ago, and I only work on it in my birthday month, which is March, so I don't get a ton done on it. But I do really, really love it. So this is where we are at. We started in the center, and there is a bunch of over 1 stitching, like those little flowers. This is all over 1. This is, I believe, a 32 count summer khaki linen. I believe it came as a kit, but I think that's the fabric. I am not a big over 1 stitcher, so that's quite a challenge for me. 32 count over 2 is kind of my comfort spot. I really enjoy that. This over 1, but it's fine. It's been long enough since I worked on this, since last March. So I forget the pain, you know what I mean? But that is Alpine Garden, and I have the whole kit, all the silk floss and all that here. So that will come out again in March of 2025. Next up is a piece I'm going to hope to finish in 2025. It is Jan Hicks Creates Antonia Rosalie Garcia 1886. It is a sampler. It is so pretty. I am doing the bright colorway using, there's a faded colorway and a bright colorway using Victoria Clayton silks. I am using the bright colorway. And I am stitching this on 32 count vintage smoky white linen. It's very wrinkly, so I apologize. But this is where we're at. So we are getting there. I may be almost 2/3 of the way done, I would guess. Not based on anything other than my brain, which is not always accurate. But that is, you can see it's kind of light, but down there we have the blue alphabet started. Lots of alphabets, but this will look, I'm excited to have this done. This will probably be my first sampler that I finish. So that will be fun to have it done and get it on the wall. So I'm excited about that. Next up is Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. This is one we have not worked on in a couple years because I got really burnt out 2 or 3 years ago. I was finishing a block a month on, I had like 4 Hawk Run Hollows and I was finishing a block a month and I just got completely burnt out. I believe I am through block 4 on this one and then I have the rest to do. When I look at these and pull them out, I am not ready to UFO them. So I'm not willing to let this one go. I am stitching this on a 32 count Vanilla Latte by Bestitch Me. This will come out someday. I'm pretty sure not in 2025. It's huge. It is huge. So here is where we're at. Same place as we were last year. But it's just so pretty. So, so pretty. So that is Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. It's good for me to pull these out to remember, like, not necessarily what I have, because I remember what I have for the most part, but just remember kind of, oh yeah, I do really like it, you know what I mean? Because when you think about it in your head, sometimes it feels different than when you see it. All right, next up is Autumn Montage. This is a full coverage. This is artwork by Janet Stever, charted by Pain Free Crafts. And I also have been showing this a lot lately because I have all 4 seasons started, which you'll see the others here in a little bit. I work on these every Sunday for Seasonal Sunday in the season in which it is. So since today's the first day of winter, we are now putting this away for the year. But I am in the first block. I got through that acorn right there. So about halfway through that first block, which feels really good. And all of these montages are being stitched on a 32 count white Lugana because they are full coverage. So it's just a white Lugana, easy peasy. So that's where I'm at for Autumn Montage. These colors are very... it's not super colorful in the block I'm working on, so it is nice to make the progress. And I do need to, I've been working on this 2 years, and that's as far as I've gotten. Even though I do work on it every Sunday during the season. So it's just a lot of stitches, you know? They're just big pieces. Next up is, this is another one that I am going to attempt to finish next year. It is by Lindy Stitches, Beautiful Things. Oh, my darling, it's true. Beautiful things have dents and scratches too. I have this side mostly done. There's some vines in there that I do need to put in. And then other than that, we'll be ready. I think I'm going to go to the fence next and kind of work my way then from the bottom up. I am stitching this on a piece of 32 count Outback Jack by Bestitch Me. It's a great, great, great fabric. So this is where we are. I did a lot on this year because I was aiming to finish it this year, and then I kind of realized like this is not going to get done. But I did most of the bird, not all of it, but most of the bird and this entire pedestal, flower pot, whatever it is that they're on. So I just had to put the vines in, and then I could start on the fencing. So that is where we're at. So that will be good to get that done this year because this is a pretty old WIP. I think I can't remember, 2020 maybe that I started it. I'm not sure. I keep track of all my projects on index cards. I didn't bring them up because I didn't figure we would have time to go through all the details. If you do want to know, like, I don't know when I started it for some reason, let me know and I can look it up. This next one, I started with my friend Robin of Bird's Eye Stitches. This is Bling Tree Sampler. I don't think this was on my year of WIPs for next year to finish. But there's still time, so I may end up putting it on there. I don't know. But this is by the Victoria Sampler. It's really pretty, and it goes somewhat fast. I mean, this part. This is 28 count artichoke. It's very crunchy linen. And I probably have way more than I need. So the tree is not done, but then I started some of the back stitch up there for the words. So there's songs all around it, and then sequins and all sorts of pretty stuff put in the tree. So that is where we're at on Bling Tree. Yeah, so I may be like somewhere in here on the tree and it just gets bigger as we go out. And these presents look like they're buttons, which I have, I think I got the kit, so I think if not, you know, I'll be fine and I can find buttons. Yeah, I got sequins and stuff in here, but I don't know if there's buttons or not. Well, we'll figure it out when we get there, right? So that is Bling Tree by Victoria's Sampler. I love her stuff. Her stuff is so pretty. Okay, next up is a series. I only have one of the series up here. This is a series I got this year. It is Bitty Bowl, and it is each month. It is by Pine Mountain. Each month this year they sent you a kit with the fabric for and the finishing accoutrement for a pillow and a little bag. And so this is December's. This is on a series that I want to finish next year. I have 3 months done already, so I have 9 more months to go. So this is Bitty Bowl, and I have not actually started the December one. I count the series as this is one WIP. So I don't count it as 12 WIPs because I would be overwhelmed with the number of WIPs. Of course, I would finish more things if I did it that way, but this whole series counts as one WIP. And that series is now done. I received all 12 months, and they will be doing a different series next year for 2025. So you can go to their YouTube channel and get information on that. My friend Mary made me this daisy bag. This next one is called Blue Rhapsody. This was a birthday start as well because blue is my favorite color. Rosewood Manor is one of my favorite designers. So we started this. I'm not very far along, I don't think, on this one either. This is another one. I just gonna say it. There's not enough hours in the day. So here is where we are at. So I guess, look at that. Look at the needle minder. Isn't he so cute? So I guess, you know, I knew I had the N row done. I didn't realize I had the W, you know, XYZ, and then we're moving over to the AB. So pretty good. And I'm only using 2 flosses. I think I'm using the called for. They are both Weeks Dye Works. One is in Sky, and the other is Navy. Sky and Navy. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count cream Lugana. Is what I'm stitching that on. So that is Blue Rhapsody. Next up, this is a Crafty Corey bag. Next up is Camberley Sampler, another Rosewood Manor. I love this one so much. I love all the pinks in this one. So this one came out in September for Sampler September. I did work on it a few times. And I am stitching this on a 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana, which is a great Lugana. It's almost like if dark white could be a color, that's kind of what it is. Or a very, very, very light gray. So I got those birds done this year and this flower here. How fun is that? Yeah, we definitely need to work on that more because I love it so much. But like I said, just not enough hours in the day. So there's that. Okay, next up is a piece we have not seen yet this year. This is another full coverage. It is Heaven and Earth Designs Cardinal Cottage, artwork by Donna Gelsinger. This is what it will look like. And I have not worked on it this is on 18 count Aida, which I don't love and I wouldn't choose today, but I don't believe I'm going to start it over. That's all. I'm up there in the corner. I got a long ways to go on this. I just have other things that I want to finish and can finish sooner. And And so that will go, and that might be like a retirement project. Who knows? You know what I mean? So yeah. So next up is, project bags are getting further away. This is a full coverage, and you have seen this recently. This is Cat Alphabet artwork, charted by Haid, artwork by Irina Garmashova, and we are on this first block, Cat Alphabet. I use this piece. This is also on 18 count Aida. I use this piece for Tour de France each year, which means you stitch on the number of stitches that the Tour de France bicyclists bike, the number of kilometers that they bike each day. So I get about 3,600 or so stitches on this one. So you can see, so it says cat, that part, this is all done. This looks like my Simon, who I lost this fall. This tabby here. And then A, and you can see the L starting to come through there for the word alphabet. And again, someday I will need to be putting more work into this if I ever want to finish. This is another huge piece, but I love it. It is so much fun to work on there. That's a little bit better lighting. It is so much fun to work on. Does that look real? So, I love Cat Alphabet, and I know many of you love this one as well. So that's Cat Alphabet. That was fun to see again, wasn't it? That one does come out every year. Which shows, right? Like, because it has more progress. I mean, it's far from being done, but it has a lot more progress than, say, the Cardinal Cottage. Okay, this one is Celtic Winter, which I am doing a conversion, color conversion. Celtic Winter, this is what she will look. This is the conversion that I want to do. Katarina Holland, that's her conversion. This is what the original looks like. Celtic Winter. It is a lavender and lace project. And I'm looking for the card that tells me what fabric is, but I don't see it. If you want to know, it looks like vintage smoky white, actually. I'm pretty positive it's vintage smoky white. I started this last year on a whim. Pat, I think, contacted me and asked me to start it with her, and so I did, but I haven't worked on it since. So that's as far as I got. I love the blues in this one. And eventually I'll go back to it. I mean, I love it. This one is actually very fun to work on, and goes surprisingly quick, at least the part where I'm at right now anyway. And I love their dresses and all that good stuff. Okay, I'm going to pause. I'm going to put these away and grab the next shelf, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back with shelf 2. We have 4 shelves in total, 4 plus. So this will probably be in 4 or 5 parts. Okay, next up is Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, which looks like this, or well, here's a better picture, closer up. I'm on the second block. I also have not touched this one in a very long time, but I really like it. And I'm not willing to let it go, so that's fine. I don't know when I'll get back to it, but, you know, it's here and ready for me. So this is also on a 32 count Vanilla Latte by Be Stitch Me. Oh, I got number 2 done. I am on number 3. Look at that. So there we go. I must have pulled it out maybe last year to work on it. These are so big on 32 count. But that's what I like stitching on, and there's so much stitching in these, so you know, you want to pick a fabric that you're comfortable with and that you enjoy stitching on, because they're going to be with you for a while. Okay, so that is Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. Okay, next up, this is, I'm laughing because this one, I don't know. This is a Christmas celebration. It's a Dimensions kit, Dimensions collection, gold collection. This is what it will look like. I actually restarted this one because when I first started it, I realized I had a counterfeit copy. And so I bought the legitimate because I like it. I do like it. This is as far as I am, though. I'm not even as far along as I was when I first started it and decided to redo it. So this is full coverage. You know, it's a bigger piece. It's full coverage. My dimensions kits, mostly what I do with those is I just do 2/2. I know that you're supposed to do half stitches and 3 strands, 4 strands, and all that. I don't do that. Mostly, for the most part, I don't. Sometimes I will. Because I just don't enjoy that. So it's still going to look beautiful. You know what I mean? So, okay, this next one you've seen a lot recently. This is Christmas Dinner. This is a very old chart from Stitcher's World from the early 2000s, and the designers is Stardust. So it's a piece of artwork, and they by Linda Cotilla, and they turned it into a cross stitch. I'm in the background. I am, I think, about here in the background. This is going to be on my WIP Go board for next year. I do not plan on getting it done because I still have quite a bit to do. And this is stitched on... it doesn't say. Or I don't have the tag. So I'm not sure. It's a linen, white linen of some sort. If you want to know, again, just reach out to me and I can tell you. But this is where I'm at. It looks good. I am off somewhere in those mountains, which has kind of messed everything up, even though you can't tell. And you all are so encouraging and say, just keep going, it'll work itself out. I like added an extra row in there somehow at some point. I'm not taking it out. I'm way too far along. So there we go. So my goal is to work up to the Santa and then go back down and work in the foreground with the animals, because I think the Santa is going to be a lot of work, but I think it'll also be really fun after all this background. This is one that does have half stitches that I am doing. And honestly, I think that's part of what messed me up. We'll blame that instead of my ability to not count, inability to count, I should say. We'll blame the half stitches. My brain just, I don't know, has a very hard time seeing half stitches, especially like if they're once in a while, that's fine. But if they are all over like this background, I just get confused. That's all it is. All right, this next one is this is considered the lilies. I started this one this year with my friend Robin. This is by Heartstring Samplery. Consider the lilies. It is huge. 435 by 363. Okay, it's not, I mean, I have bigger pieces, but it's big. It is so much fun to work on. I started it and like I just started it kind of on a whim without any real plan, which means that like I didn't get a ton of stitching on in it. This is a 32 count linen jackalope by Lapin Loops. And I'm using the called for, except I'm doing 2 strands. So the called for is 1 strand on 28 count. I'm doing 32 count 2/2. And yes, that is going to eat up more floss, but I know it's meant to be like a kind of prim sampler, but I really like the look of 2 colors. So that's where I got to. It's huge. It's going to take me years, but I really, really love this one. Someday I'll be at a point where I can work on these big projects, right? My goal eventually, because I'm doing another challenge, which is by Melanie Watkins, 50 countdown to 50, which is I'm trying to finish 50 pieces by the time I turn 50, which is in a little over 2 years. Is that right? Yeah. Like 2 years and 3 months is basically how long I have. I have like maybe 12 pieces finished. So eventually we'll get to a point where I throw in the towel, but right now I'm focusing on getting pieces done. But eventually I want to get back to doing like my WIP Go board where it just makes progress on a lot of these pieces. Speaking of making progress, this next one is Death by Cross Stitch by Long Dog. I love this one too. I am using a color conversion on this one by Jan Hicks Creates. She did a color conversion on Hoity Toity, which we'll see later. And I also applied that same color conversion to this piece. Was that a good idea? I don't know. Oh, I'm looking for the tag for what fabric. 32 count silvery moon. Thought it looked familiar. This is a doozy, and I'm not super, I mean, I'm okay. I feel like I've been working on it a lot, but here is where we're at. So this is a piece that I would put on my WIP Go board and just get done what I get done every time it comes up and not worry about like, oh, I need to finish it this year or anything. You can see it's a very long way from being finished. And I have no rhyme or reason. I'm using the same color palette, but I don't really have a rhyme or reason to what color I'm putting where. I'm just kind of doing it as I go. So that is Death by Cross Stitch so far. And another one that I really want to keep working on. I really want to get back to it. But it's going to be at least another year or two. Whenever I give up on countdown to 50. Or accomplish it, then we will be able to do that. So we'll see. Okay. I'm trying to keep them in order when I throw them on the floor just to help this move along. This next one is Dreaming of Daisies by Rosewood Manor. So this was a birthday start a while ago, a few years ago. Daisies are my favorite flower, and as I mentioned before, Rosewood Manor is one of my favorite designers. This is what it will look like. The picture kind of blows it out a bit and makes it kind of hard to see. But there are different daisies all over, and the word daisy is written in a variety of different fonts. And do we know what fabric we're stitching on? We sure do not. Well, let me know if you want to know. This is a really pretty blue, and so I feel like the white shows up pretty nicely on this. And this I work on during my birthday month. But that's where I'm at. Isn't that cute? And I love the needle minder too. So I love, 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 love this piece. And it's in a daisy bag. So you can't go wrong with that. That will come out during my birthday month for a bit. Okay, Dreaming of Daisies by Rosewood Manor. Next up, what is this? Oh, I think I know what this one is. Yeah, this was a spur of the moment start also this year. I blame Gary from Garon. This is Glendon Place, Eggs All Around. Gary's almost done with it. I am not. I just worked on it for a couple of days and then put it away. But I've had it in my stash, and I've actually had it kitted up for a while, honestly. There's a lot, I know I'm showing the chart, but there's a lot of beads and Krynic in this one. I don't know the fabric. It's a white linen. That's all I know. Which way is good? Goes this way. So I have the first egg almost done. That's all I got done. And a lot of those blank spots are for beads and stuff. So that's where I'm at. I am going to pull this out again this year around Easter and give it a few days of love. I don't have a ton of spring and Easter pieces. I have a couple, but that is Eggs All Around. You know, some of these charts that have been sitting in your stash kind of kitted up for a while, you kind of want to get them into WIP so then you can work on them. This next one is my nemesis. I blame EJ for this one. This is Elegant Pumpkins. This is a terrible picture because it's just black and white. It is from the September-October 2011 issue of Just Cross Stitch. It is designed by Marie Barber. I've been working on this for a very long time. This is stitched on, excuse me. I'm not sure what. I don't have it, but let me know if you want to know. And I have that first pumpkin is almost done. I'm not giving up on it, though. I'm going to keep going. I'll show you. I'm going to keep going. So that's where we're at. I do need to pull it out and work on it. It's just, you know, I do like the finished product. I'm not, like I said, I'm not willing to let it go, but we got to work on it. Just starting them and putting them on your shelf does not get them done, my friends. I know. It's shocking. It's shocking. This next one, I started this last year for Ronnie. Ronnie's Stocking Sow. I started it and then put it away because I had it kitted up. because it's a kit. It is a Dimensions Kit Enchanted Ornament Stocking. I also think Amy from Amy Loves Toads finished this recently. Recently meaning maybe last year. I changed out the fabric. Again, I don't know what the fabric is. It's a really pretty blue, but let me know if you want to know. It's just a Lugana, it looks like. Maybe I should have marked it. Which way is up, huh? I think it's this way. Okay, yeah, it's this way. We'll figure it out. That's all I have. I started in the center, and that's where I'm at. So, not much to report on. This was one you're supposed to do like 100 stitches a week or 300 stitches a week, and then you would be done with the stocking by the end of the year. Clearly, I did not do that. But I do love it. I do. All right. Next up. Oh, this is my birthday start from this year. This is Floral Alphabet by JBW Designs. How pretty is this? Sarah from Stitchy Mommy started this with me as well. I don't know. I think she's further along than I am. I'm not sure. It's not a competition, but you know. This is stitched on a 32 count antique white Lugana, and I just picked some colors, 3 or 4 colors. Look at that. I love it so much. I love those colors so much. That's where we're at. Fun. So I do need to get back to that one. I'm using Color and Cotton. No. Cottage Garden Threads for that one. That's what it is. Next up, this is G. Leger, and it's by Reflex de Soie. This is what it will look like. I started this with my friend Robin. Ooh, it just started raining. And this is my first piece I have stitched in silks. I did change out the fabric on this. Here's the card. I'm stitching this on Atomic Ranch Fabrics Weathered Stone 32 count in MPI silks. And this is where I'm at. This comes out during Sampler September for 5 days usually. So that D, I think, needs to be finished up, but we are making progress. That's where we're at. Really, really pretty. So that is G. Leger. I try to fold it differently when I can. Fabric so it doesn't like get permanent crease. Because I don't want that after all that money and work you put into it. This next one is Garden Sweetness. I believe we started this as a Sal last year. This is a Madame Lafille. This is what it will look like when it's done. I'm up in this area. I'm stitching this on a 32 count vintage blue Whisper linen. Yes, look at this. Oh, this is so good. This is such a good spring piece, really. Look at that. It says time on there. So, well, let me actually show you what we have. There we go. So yeah, we're coming along. Just don't work on it very, very much, honestly. But I love it. Okay, sorry about that. I got a call. So, this next one is Ghost Pumpkin. I started this year. This is by La Di Da. I started this at the Stitching in the Wild for Garan in September. Super cute. Several of us started it. I can't remember. Confederate Gray, maybe? I can't remember. But this is how far I am. I think this is on my year of WIPs to finish next year. So there's not a ton, just finish up the face and that's it. She'll be done. So that is Ghost Pumpkin. And it's in this bag that we got at the retreat. Well, I bought this one, but it came with a mini bag, which honestly that project would fit. It's so small, it would probably fit in there. And then the last one for this batch is one that is on my year of WIPs for next year to finish. This is by Stitching Mommy, Sarah. This is Introductions Herschel and Lucy design. So her niece drew this and she charted it. And I think it's just so cute. And this is on a 28 count antique white that I had in my stash. And this is where I'm at. A lot of stitching in that bird. For as small of a piece as it is, there's a lot of stitching, but that's Sarah from Stitching Mommy for you. All right, so I'm going to put these away, and I'm going to grab our third batch. Be right back. Okay, we're back. This is a very bulky batch. Okay, first up is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, which you did see me work on a little bit this year. This is what it will look like when it's all done. I started on this block number 5, and I'm working down in here. I'm starting from the bottom up. And I'm in a spot where there's a lot of just fill-in stitching. And again, this is on 32 count Vanilla Latte by Stitch Me. It's the fabric. This is another huge piece, but it's really fun. So this is where we are. It's hard to get it all in. There we go. And then I'll bring it up closer. You can see it. My friend Candy would call this a bed sheet. So you can see, I have a lot of bed sheet projects, where this blue, so everything below that blue line is just fill in with the water, that blue color. These charts call for MPIs. I'm doing them all in the DMC conversion, just because they are so big. And I am doing them on 32 count 2/2, so it does use a lot of floss. And some of these blocks are either full coverage or nearly full coverage, so it does use up quite a bit of floss. So I was like, for me, for this piece, for these, DMC is the way to go. Now, I do have some silk projects. It just depends on the project, and it just depends on your personal preference. But, like, just because the project calls for DMC or silk doesn't mean you have to do it in silk, right? You know, the colors might look a little bit different, but you can always change whatever you want to change. Look at this. Look at this Garan bag. Isn't that cute? So this next project is one I started last year, I think, with my friend Karen from Stitching Past My Bedtime. This is Le Petit Corée Halloween window. I have a very tiny star on this. I am stitching this on a Fortnite Fabric Cozy Cave linen. Which is great fabric. Yeah, see, I started a piece over here. And so I think it's, oh, and I started another piece over here. Third time's the charm on this fabric. Okay, so this is just the very start of the edge of the window. This piece has so much back stitching in it. You really need to back stitch as you go on it. I'm not even at a point where I can back stitch on that. I did not pull it out at all this year. So, you know, I will. I want to stitch it. So we'll get it done. Next up is another Victoria sampler. This is called Happy New Year. This will probably be my 25/7 piece in January. This is what it will look like. I think I'm in here or on here. Could I finish it this year? They have hardanger down in here. I do not plan to do the hardanger. I'll do something down here, but it's not going to be to hardanger. I do not trust myself. Sarah Stitching Mommy is working on a different piece, and she is doing hardanger on hers, and she just taught herself how to do it, and she's doing it, but she's much more, she's just better than I am at these things. I completely lied to you. I'm not as far as I thought. Okay. So I'm down through the Father Time one. Dang it, I thought I had the balloons done. No. No, it's not far. Yeah, it's further than I thought. So I have this row done. So let me show you. So this is where we're at. I don't know what fabric this is. Again, if you want to know, let me know. This is a better picture, maybe. It's a little bit bigger. So I have Father Time, and I have that one row of stitches done, and then I need to go into, these are specialty stitches, and then down into the balloon one. Now I usually only work on this in January as my 25/7 piece. So, but I think in 2026, I will probably put it on my year of WIPs to finish it, because it is relatively small. I mean, it takes a while because you are doing a lot of color changes and whatnot, and there's some over one and all that, but it does go, you know, pretty quickly. So that one will be a finish, I think, in 2026, because I've been working on it long enough. Okay, this next one is Hoity Toity by Long Dog Samplers. I will show you what it will look like. So this is the original, and this is where Jan Hicks Creates, did that, did a color conversion, and that is what I am using, her color conversion that she came up with. And this is probably also on Silvery Moon Lugana, because I think I thought of them as companion pieces. They're really not. I think Hoity Toity is much smaller, much smaller. But here's where we're at. Look at those colors. I love the pinks and the blues. My background is 939, like that dark, dark purpley blue. Look at that. It's so good. I love it. And this is a translation from the colors. So I took the colors that were on, well, Jan took the colors that were called for, because this is not, Death by Cross Stitch is supposed to be stitched all in one color. And so I added in color just where I thought. So there was really no guidance. This one has a guide. And so it's a little less thought, if you will, of like, ooh, do I want that color there? That type of thing. So that is Hoity Toity. Not in 2025, I don't think, folks. Maybe in 2027. These are good ones. I do like big projects, in case you haven't noticed. This next one is going to be on my year of WIPs for next year to finish. It is a magazine piece. It is in each issue of this year's 2024 Just Cross Stitch. This year, Just Cross Stitch moved to be seasonal instead of every other month, which I really like. And they're thicker, so they have more charts per issue. So you end up getting the same number of charts, but they included both the Halloween and the Christmas issue in your subscription. So this is a Carolyn Manning design. It is called Hummingbird Garden. And we started this as a stitch along. I bought the kit from Annie's Craft Store, which included the fabric and hummingbirds, charms. And I don't know. I think the floss is just DMC that I kitted it myself, I think. I can't remember, honestly. Maybe it came with the floss. Okay, so this is where I'm at. I have the first 4 done. And then there is a little bit of Kryneck in the centers of each of them. I don't know if you can see that. And when I stitch Kryneck, generally speaking, I stitch it 2 strands because I like the bling. So my goal on this one, so there's 12 in all. I have 4 done, so it'll be 1 a month to get it done for next year. These go pretty quick. I can finish one of these in about 2.5 evenings worth of work. So that's fun. Okay. And we're in a period of slippery project bags, the Amazon ones. This one is in the library. I started this 2 years ago, I think, with my friend Jessie in Colorado by Moho Stitches. This is what it will look like. I love it. I just have not pulled it out and worked on it. I don't know why. I don't know why. What is this fabric? This fabric is Platinum Belfast Linen by Weeks Dye Works. That's what it is. My measly little start. Oh, I need to get back to this one. This is a good one for eye when a eye in acrostics comes up, because I have a lot of trouble thinking of eyes. So that's a good one. Okay, next up is Kringles. Kringles. This is by Little House Needleworks. I have the roof done. I haven't touched this in a couple of years. This one I think will be on WIP Go maybe in 2026. Maybe. I'm looking for the tag to know. Oh, here it is. This is a pearl gray 32 count linen. Is what it's being stitched on. And yeah, I have the roof done. That's it. So I think this is going to go on my WIP Go board in 2026 to make some progress because this needs to be done. It's been lingering long enough. Hopefully somebody's taking notes so you can remind me of what I've said. I'm just kidding. I can watch back to remember what I said. Ooh, this is a thick one. Oh, this is Let Love Rain. This is Dina from Half Stitch Cross Stitch. This is all her fault. Let Love Rain is in this booklet by Teresa Kogut. Let Love Rain. Is it Teresa Kogut? Yes, it's Teresa Kogut. Let me show it to you. Sorry if I just hit you, I think, on accident with the big book. Okay, so this is what it will look like when it's done, except I am changing the colors because I don't love the browns. It's very brown to me. So I am doing a color conversion that I'm just kind of making up as I go. This is a huge piece of fabric. I don't know if I need that big of a piece of fabric. And I don't know what the fabric is, so I can look it up if you want to know. So I'm changing a lot, not all of the browns, but a lot of the browns to blues. So that is where I'm at. I hardly have a start. This is a linen. It's like a yellowy linen, cream maybe. Oh, it's so good. Again, that's what I like to do with WIP Go, is I like to put, generally, not in 2025, but I like to put big pieces on my WIP Go board so they get worked on and progress is made on them instead of starting them and then setting them away. And then you feel like you're actually making progress. Okay, this next one is called One Nation. This is by Bygone Stitches. This is what it will look like when it's done. Except I'm going to put the states I've lived in blue, in the same blue as the background of the field of stars. I have not yet. So I pull this out when there's like a federal holiday and I give it a 3-day rotation. It actually comes out about 5 times a year or so, 5 different months. It's slow going. I'm not going to lie. You would think I'd be further along. But those stars really do take a lot of work. I can get... one star takes me about half an hour to do. I know it doesn't seem like it should, but that's just how long it does. I don't think I'm a particularly slow stitcher, but I don't think I'm a particularly fast stitcher. And what I really want to do is I want to get that field of stars almost done, if not fully done, before I go over to the words. Just because this is just trudging along. This is stitched on a 32 count French blue by Fabrics by Stephanie. So, yeah, once we get through that field of stars, it should zoom along, right? No, I know there's a lot to it. This next one is a Mirabilia that I've been working on for a long time. I thought it was going to be a finish this year. It's not even remotely close. It will not go on my WIP Go board for next year, but this is Princess Ileana. And I'm stitching it on a 32 count color and cotton and the color Parthenon. I did get some progress on it this year. So that's where I'm at. You still kind of can't tell what's happening. I started in the center on this. That's her dress. So we're not quite to where we can see what's going on there yet. But this one will have beads and that sort of thing when we get to it. It is fun to work on. I've never finished a Mirabilia. I have so many of their charts. I have never finished one. So, I have 2 in progress right now. You'll see one later. Next up is in this great bag by my friend Devi, who made this bag for me. This is Purple Rain. This is what it will look like, and it's a Heaven and Earth Designs chart. Get that. This one also just does not get the love it deserves. Candy, the 614 stitcher, is also stitching this. She's much further along. She works on it very regularly, like monthly. I do not. I don't know why. I mean, I just have so much other stuff I want to work on, but I really do love it. She said to me one time, she said, oh, look at that, I have a hanging thread. She said, you can like UFO it if you want. I'm like, I don't want to UFO it, but this is as far as I am. Look at my Prince needle minder. So that's as far as I am. This is 18 count hand-dyed fabric by EJ. So that's where I'm at. Not very much. And I'm doing 2/2. So I will have to, again, someday get this on a rotation. You know what I mean? So that is that. And this one is stitched all in Anchor because DMC just doesn't have a ton of purple. And so, you know, for Purple Rain, you kind of need to go to Anchor. So it's all an Anchor floss. So that project bag, again, is from Debbie. Okay, next up, this is another Crafty Corey project bag. This is Quaker Christmas. This picture, I'm going to tell you, is terrible. This is by Bygone Stitches. This is not indicative of how it looks. This is mostly stitched in red with some, what they call blue spruce, which is like a bluey green for all the songs. I'm stitching mine in all red. It is called Perfect Red. It's by Victoria Clayton Silks. And I'm stitching it on a 28 count vintage smoky white. I wonder why 28 count instead of 32. I'm not sure. Maybe I had it in my stash or something because I was going to use it for something else. But this is where I'm at. Oh, it's so gorgeous. It's just so gorgeous. Mel from Patchy Pony recently finished and framed hers, and it is stunning. This one actually I think will be on my Bringo board in January, so it will come out once or twice. It's a big one. 240 wide by 350 high, so it is a very big one. And again, I don't work on it a whole lot. Next up is my other Mirabilia. It is Royal Holiday, which I started with Gary a long time ago. Gary's has been long done and framed. Well, not super long and framed. And I just don't work on it. I love it. I want to finish it. My intent is to finish it. Again, I'm looking for the fabric because this is an older piece. I don't know what the fabric is. It's just pretty blue. I know I marked it, so I knew which way is up. Yep, this way is up. So this is where I'm at. I mean, you can't even tell what is happening. I mean, that's her dress, but you can't really tell what's happening. So she'll come out again someday. Oh, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I need to stop starting new things. I'm not going to stop starting new things, but I should so I can get all these good projects. Okay, next up, this is Sampler au Fleur. Oh, is this the one we started? Yes, this is Jardin Privé. I started this with Sarah also in February this year, I think. So this is what it will look like. I'm stitching this on a piece of Fortnite Fabrics in the color Sandy Bottom that I had in my stash. It's almost like a vintage smoky white. And here's where I'm at. Look at that. These letters are so big, they take quite a while to finish, honestly. They seem like they'd go super fast, but oh, I just love the colors in this one. So that is fun. And then one more for this batch. Another big one. This is, I was like, this feels like a Mirabilia, but I only started two. No, well, it's a Nora Corbett. I started this last year. This is Christmas Eve Courier's Santa's Sleigh. And it's big because I have all the fabric for all the reindeer in here, which is ice blue, 28 count ice blue. And it goes this way. That's a cute needle minder. I didn't even know I had because I just keep it on here. So that's where I'm at. Can't really tell what's going on. And yes, someday we will pull this back out and we will work on it. Okay, that's it for this batch. I will be pulling out our last batch and I'll be right back. I'm back for our last batch. This one. This one I think about a lot because I have not touched it since probably 2019. This is Santa's Village. It is by Country Cottage Needleworks. I think I'm done with this one. And I've started on number 2, and that's it. This is a lamb's wool linen. So I don't love the fabric, but I'm not going to start it over. I do like it, and I do intend to work on it and finish it because I think it's very cute. I have to go back in and put the snowflakes in because when I started this, I did not know how to do the pin stitch, and so I just had snowflake buttons, which was cute and would work. But now that I know how to do the pin stitch, I'm just going to stitch them in. And there's some beads on that wreath and whatnot. So number 1 is mostly done. But this one kind of haunts me a bit because I feel really bad that I haven't worked on it. Which I know is not, you know, the best. Like, it's a craft, so we don't need to feel bad about things. But I do still like it, and I still want to stitch it. Okay. Next up, this is a birthday start from a while ago called Scenic Farm. This is another Dimensions kit, and I have restarted this at least twice. I think I'm finally good now. Because again, this is one where I figured out that I just want to do 2 over 2 and call it good. Because the background has a bunch of half stitches, and this is on a Color and Cotton Lugana in the color Moonstone. Look at this interior of this bag. Isn't it pretty? It's a Gameron bag, of course. So this is Moonstone by Color and Cotton. And now we're making some progress. Like my needle minder of a barn. Now we're making progress. So it is all 2 over 2. So there we go. This comes out during March, my birthday month as well, to get some love. And that's really the only time it gets love right now. Reminds me of where I grew up. I grew up in Nebraska. I did not grow up on a farm. So that part does not remind me. But I did grow up in Nebraska. Okay, this is a little bit out of order. I had to put some pieces over here because this is another bulky. But Scandinavia, this is a full coverage that I just started at the end of November this year. This is by PDX Glow. This is what it will look like. I am loving this one. This is where I'm at. So I just started this year. I think I have about 3,000 stitches, a little more than 3,000 stitches already done. I mean, that was just all 822 DMC, all that. But there's some additional colors in here, and we're starting to get into more like the blues and the purples down in here. So that will be fun. So I look forward to working on that one. Okay, next up is The Snuggle is Real. This is a magazine piece. This is in the December 2023 issue of Just Cross Stitch, so really recent. We did a stitch along, or are doing a stitch along. This is charted, it's original artwork by Hannah Dale. And this is going on my Year of WIPs for 2025 so that I can finish it. And it will also be on my WIP Go board to give me time to finish it. It's so cute. My friend Tammy already finished it and has it framed. She said that the back stitching is kind of a bear because it's like you're back stitching all the fur, but I think I'll just the best bet is like maybe not to follow the pattern and just put it in where you think it is. I don't know what this is a pink. Oh, it's being really washed out. It's a darker pink. It's not dark pink, but it's a darker pink than it's showing up. So this is the little kitten face. So I can look at the kitten face while I do all the other stitching this year. I'm super excited about that. That one will be so cute. I couldn't wait to start that one. So we'll see a lot of that in 2025. All right, next up is Spring House. I started this year with my friend Andrea. This is by Liz Matthews. Hello from Liz Matthews. And this is what it will look like when it's done. It's stitched on 2 different types of fabric. So you stitch on one fabric and then the other, and you sew them together. And this is where I'm at. I started on the darker fabric, the top part first, and that's where we're at. You heard my cat Jack in the background meowing, because I have not yet snuggled with him this afternoon. I usually am able to snuggle with him a bit, but I haven't yet this afternoon because I've been recording, so he's probably wondering where I'm at. Okay, this next one is Spring Montage. And let me see if I have the picture for you here. I did have it. And then I lost it. Here it is. Goodness gracious. Okay. Spring Montage. This is one of the montages. This is artwork by Janet Stever, charted by Pain Free Crafts. And I work on this every Sunday in spring. So this is also on a 32 count white Lugana because it is full coverage. I mean, when you see how big this fabric is compared to how much I have done, it's quite intimidating. I'm not going to lie. Okay, let's show you what we got here. So this is where I am at. And next year, if I remember, I'll try to write down the percentages that I'm done with my full coverage. I'm like 5 or 6% done with this. I'm pretty sure. It's pretty. It is very pretty. So we're moving right along on it anyway. So that is Spring Montage. Okay. Next up is Summer Montage. Same thing. Well, different chart. Artwork by Janet Stever, charted by Pain Free Crafts. I finished this first one this year. That first block is done. It's a smaller block, but still, it's done. It's a block that's finished. And so we just barely got a start on the second block, the watermelon block, as you can see there. Look at that rose. Isn't it gorgeous? It just stands out. So we'll be, next summer in 2025, we'll be working on that watermelon block. Jack has now entered the room. You may see him. You definitely hear him. Okay, next up, this one is on my WIP Go board and on my Year of WIPs. This is Thankful, part of the Bloom and Bouquet series by Jeanette Douglas. I started this with my friend Karen from Stitching Past My Bedtime. So this is what it will look like. This poor thing also kind of doesn't get as much love as it deserves. Okay, he has now run out of the room. And this is where we're at. So pretty. I think I'm doing this 1/1 because I have a silk thread pack and I don't want to run out from the thread pack and have to buy more silks because they're not cheap. Let's see what fabric I'm using. No, doesn't say. That's okay. You know where to, oh, Legacy. 32 count Legacy Lugana is what I'm using with 1 strand of silk. Okay, next up is this Evertotes bag. Nope, Mystic Meadow Creations bag. Sorry, Maria. This one is Home for the Holidays by Blackbird. And it is 'Tis the Season. And they give you an English translation that says, "'Tis the season to be jolly," and I'll put the English in. I'm stitching this for my mom. So you saw this earlier this month, as a matter of fact. It came out. Or it came out. It came out. It didn't just come out. I mean, I worked on it. And this will also be on my WIP Go board and my Year of WIPs for next year to finish it. And I'm stitching this on a color and cotton 32 count. Color is Bellini. And we do have a hanging thread, so I usually don't do that. I almost never do that. But so the cardinal is almost done. He's very stripy, which I don't super love, but it's fine. And then we'll go into the word. You can see I have the word "tis" done at the bottom there. It's kind of hard to see. You can see it better in person. And a bunch of snowflakes and the vine and the berries and all that. So that will be fun to do for my mama. So that is "'Tis the Season." Next up is A Treasured Time. I laugh because this is another full coverage, well, almost full coverage. Dimensions Gold Collection Kit. I started this with Robin from Bird's Eye Stitches. I love this scene. You may be asking yourself, Carolyn, what are you going to do with all these Christmas winter pieces? It's a really good question that I don't have a good answer for. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Silvery Moon Lugana. And again, I just have, there's some blends in this. I am doing the blends, but, oh, is it? No, I am doing half stitches. Honestly, I might pull these out and put this back in my, yeah, they're half stitches. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not very far along, so if I reset it, that would reduce my number of WIPs because I'm just not super in a place where I'm working on it. But we'll see. I mean, I like it. Ultimately, I do want to finish it. Okay, this next one is Twisted Band Sampler, which you saw in September. I do pull it out and try to give it 5 days of work in September. This is Twisted Band Sampler by Northern Expressions Needlework. I think I'm in this row right here, this diagonal. I started up here, so working down that way. And, oh, this is I don't know the color. I have lost the color, but it's a color and cotton 32 count something. And this is where I'm at. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. We only pull it out 5 days a year. You know, it doesn't get a ton of work done on it, but some work is better than no work, right? Okay. Next up is this one. I think a lot of people like because I get asked about it and I have not worked on it in a couple of years. I don't know why, I just haven't. This is another magazine piece. It is called Warm Welcome. I found it in volume 21 from 2019 of Ultimate Cross Stitch Cats and Dogs. It's probably also in like the World of Cross Stitching some issue. I don't know that they say. This is designed by Joanne Aston. This is what it will look like. How cute is that? So cute. It says it takes 70 hours, which honestly is not, I mean, it's a lot, but it's not like terrible. This looks like a white Lugana that I'm stitching it on. And that's where I'm at. We really need to give her some love, don't we? So that is Warm Welcome. And yes, I do intend to continue working on it. Not in 2025, probably, though. Okay. See, I can almost always blame somebody else for my starts. Never me, right? This next one is called Winter Rose Manor. And I think I started this with a bunch of people. This is by Brenda Gervais. I think maybe Jan Hicks. Because I have not worked on this in a hot minute. And I had the Vicki Clayton Silks. This is color and cotton 32 count in the color Tuscan. Oh, here. This is all I have done. I mean, is that even really a start? Does that even really count? So, yeah, barely a start on that one. Winter Rose. Oh, Winter Montage. So again, we're a little out of order. Winter Montage, the last of the montages. Artwork by Janet Stever, charted by Paid Free Crafts, and I am up in here. 32 count Lugana. And this is what it looks like. And this I'm getting ready to pull out and work on. Since it's officially, well, the day I'm filming this is the first day of winter. So I'll work on this on Sundays in winter and see how far we can get. Okay. Then we have With the Needle. This did come out in September. This is by Lila's Studio. With the Needle 2, actually. So this is what it will look like when it's all done. This is a 32 count Sahara fabric, I want to say, linen. And that's where I'm at. I think that block is done. I think I finished that block. And so when I pull it out next year, I'll move down so I could get this whole side done and pull down. Well, I don't know if I'll get the whole side done in 2025 because I really only work on it a handful of days, but start pulling down this border, and then there's an alphabet in here. So that's what we'll be doing. So that is With the Needle 2. I started that with Jan Hicks at StitchCon in 2022, I believe. All right. Next up is another series. This is also going to be aimed for a finish next year. This is called Woodland Christmas by Tiny Modernists. And I will show you what I have done so far. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 done out of 12. So that's good. All I need to do is put a star on this one. And I'm going to do it in a yellow or gold. And then that one will be done. And then I'll be ready to move on. And I'm going to work on this actually tonight when I'm done with this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will be number 7. Oh, I could have just looked on here. And this is what number 7 will look like. So these are really cute, super fun. And they're just, I love the bright colors of these. So that is called Woodland Christmas by Tiny Modernist. Next, last but certainly not least, the final project that I have is called A Year in Stitches. It was a freebie by the Victoria Sampler on her Facebook group. Sarah from Stitchy Mommy stitched this. It is no longer a freebie, but you can still get it on her website. But she doesn't tell you the colors, so you have to select the colors yourself. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure chart for 2021. It came out. So loosely, this is what it will look like. I don't want to show you too close because there are some stitches on there. I am stitching this on a 28 count Dove Gray. There is some over one stitching. I started this with Robin, Bird's Eye Stitches, and this is as far as I got. Not in 2025, but maybe in 2020, because I have like 3 like monthly things I'm trying to finish up in 2025. But eventually I will try to finish one of these, like maybe 2026 or 2027. I'll try to finish one of these each month. So I can get this done. So, my friends, that is everything. What do you think? Did you get, did I enable you in any way, shape, or form? Let me know. Let me know what you're going to be starting. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if I forgot anything. Thank you so much if you are still here. Thank you so much for watching the 2024 WIP Parade. And I will see you all next time. Bye.